Right, so mate rang me up today, so he's decided to come down and do a bit of fishing with his family, and asked if I wanted to go with him. So I thought, why not? Well, I thought, well, I had the opportunity to make some rigs anyway. I thought I'd just show you what I use, what I call that smooth hound on. It's not my rig, so I've just copied bits from YouTube. I watch YouTube a lot, and actually got Bassman on it as we speak. But it's just what I've used from some other people where they put their own little ideas in, and a few things that I use. So I'm using this first. So £60, and there's a fellow on YouTube that does this to mark out a length, puts it at his nose. So I started doing that as well, which is a good way of measuring how long you want it. And it saves on a bit of line as well. So I'll quickly cut a bit of that off. So as long as those two, long as your arm reaches, I'm going to tie a swivel. Now if I get some of these parts wrong, you have to mind me, it's my dyslexia. So I don't know the name of everything. I'm just going to tie a swivel to one end. One, two, three, four, five. Just, I don't know what this knot's called, so like I said, I ain't no professional. It's just something I've always done, just like the carp knots. And it pulls it down tight. Just because for some reason the holes in these beads are quite big, and the spring that I'm going to use next gets stuck in them. Yeah, so swivel, £60 main line, and then I put bead. No, I don't. I put a crimp on first, and I mark where that's going. So from my swivel to about there, I give that a little crimp. Don't squeeze too hard if you're just using pliers like I am. You don't want to cut your line. And I use a bead. With these beads, I also use a smaller little rubber bead. Here they are. So one of those. I don't know if you can see that. Don't know the actual name of them. Can't remember. And the bloke online, he bends these, so I'll do that as well. So just bend it slightly over, like that, both sides, like that. Swivel your line straight through the top. With both lines, just like that. And this is where I use the bead and the rubber. Another bead. Little rubber bead. Just that all the way up. So it sits like that. Okay? And then I want, let's say I've lost them. Where's they gone? Right, let me pause this. So I was looking for these. It was in the other box. So, and then I get a spring out. A nice long one, I don't cut them. But if you cut them, it makes the hole bigger. That's what I believe anyway. So I'll slide that on. Poke your tongue out. There you go. So now I've got that, yeah? Very similar to the bloke that I see online. Like I said, I've copied other people's rigs, not claiming it's my own. I can remember what video I watched. I'll try and tag him in. Try and remember what video it was. Right, and then another rubber to stop the spring from going into another bead. These are the beads I got off Amazon. Apparently they glow in the dark. So we'll see. Like that. And I want another crimp. Da, da, da. And another crimp. There we go. So we got that, yeah, with the crimp. So when you hold the crimp, squeeze it just a little bit to hold it, and just slide it up a little bit so it gives it a little bit of tension. Then squeeze it down. So then what that should do is it should make it like spring loaded. See how it's flicking straight back up again? Which is lovely. And then I'm going to get a couple of these orange beads because I don't want to use all my glow in the dark ones. Another bead. And then I'll use one of these. He uses, I believe he uses one of these. I'm not sure. I use these. They seem quite simsy, but they are quite strong. I've had none foul on me yet so far. Don't know what they're called, so just leave me messaging me messages. So I put a bead on. Why is that not going in? One of them. And another bead. So we have that, yeah? So we have this. And that slides up and down. Obviously with the weight on it, well, it's quite... There you go. And that one's got a little bit of plastic in it. But yeah, it slides up and down. Alright? Quite... I don't know why that's quite stiff. The other one's more... Anyway, it slides up and down. And then, once I put the weight on, I'll show you. And then I put another swivel on. Put the other swivel on. Make sure you're not nice tight. So another swivel that end. So that's what I've got, right? Swivel, main line, yeah? I think it's a clip down, swivel, couple beads, spring, crimp, bead, little sliding down weight connector, down to another swivel. Alright? Now I can start my hook length. So on my hook length, I've got a couple of mixed hooks here. I'm trying to look for the 2 and a 1. I believe that's a 2. He's a bit messy at the moment, so enough room. So it's a lot of panel rig, I suppose. So I think that's a 2, and I think that's a 1. A bit like that. And I'm using £25 hook length line. Same thing with the nose trick. I like that idea. And it measures everything out. cut that. Boom. Right, what else I do that I see on these things is pretty much his rig, to be fair. So I liked it, so I copied it. Just bend that just a little bit. I'll slide that up there. I will just secure that there so I don't go anywhere. Then I'll tie this one on. And there we go. So I'm just going to pull that hook tight. Make sure that knot don't break. Right, so just like a basic panel, yeah? Just like that. I'm only using worm tonight. I've got a bit of mackerel on that. And then this ties on the bottom end. So where your spring is, don't tie it to that end, tie it to this end, right? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's nice and tight and lubricated before you pull your knots down. And that's pretty much it. And that's an up and over rig. And what you do is with this bit here, you get a weight out. Now I copy all my rigs off YouTube. If you're just starting up, that's the best thing to watch. You've got so many people who have been doing it a long time on there. And if you just watch them, you can learn a thing or two. Now I'm more into my carp fishing than I am my sea fishing. Lately I've been doing quite a lot of sea fishing, to be fair though. So, with your weight tied on, as you can see, it slides up and down. So that's the same as a pulley rig. That goes to your main line. Alright. So your hook goes up, get it in shot. Goes over the top of that clip down swivel. And then you pull this down and you clip it to your weight. And there you go. You have an up and over, clip down, long casting sea rig. And it is that simple. If you could tie a knot, you can make your own rigs. You don't need to be buying multiple rigs when you can make them yourself. And obviously with your bait on, that clips to your main line, you whack it out, and with that spring on it as well, boom, it pops straight open, long trace, happy days.